I think that they're just finally at that point where they get to kind of celebrate and get some of like the fruits of their labor are finally coming back to them. So, but like, dude, they were working again. Stell's like working out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I won't fit any of his shirts anymore. And that's depressing.
You know, maybe his old shirts though. But he can't fit his old shirts anymore, I'm sure. Maybe he'll send you one of his old shirts, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Be like, hey, you can't use them anymore, bro. Because he'd be like, it would be like a K-pop Demon Hunter.
Bang.
Are we doing this again?
What? I'm trying to add something new to the beginning of our things.
The GidKidDad Show.
Quack! It's a great day to play, everybody. Welcome on in to the channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you make that face, your upper lip is so big.
Yeah.
Like, because you got a big, you know, and with the critter you got growing on there now, it's at least filling in now. It's filling in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's because for a while, it like didn't look any different. Like you having a goatee or you having a mustache because it was really thin, it didn't really look like much.
I didn't even have a goatee. I had a whole face.
Whatever you had going on.
I had a whole face thing, and then I cut it, and everyone's like, "You look the same."
Look at your face. This at least is covering up more of it.
If I shave my mustache, everyone goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that is really weird.
Whoa,
that is really weird.
Why do you? Yeah. Did you wear glasses before? It's like, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah. What are we doing? I don't even remember.
We have not done an SB19 interview. In a very, very long time. Now, obviously, we're pretty dialed into what's happening with the scene. It's kind of our job to be, but a lot of this is, you know, I love some of the comments that I love reading every day. Were like, hey, because remember we did on the one video, we were like, hey, when did you discover us, and who did you discover through this channel?
Right.
And like, yes, a lot of people discovered us because of SB19, but like at least I'd say a fourth or a third of those comments were like, I discovered SB19 because of you.
Which is really
cool. Which is awesome, right? Yes. Because we, again, remember, like, far before we had that, we had already hit over 100, I think, like, when we were still doing, like, the BTS and the K-pop stuff, and so kind of exposing a lot more of it. But it's just really cool to see. So part of this is I'd really like to see, a lot of people have been recommending them in the reaction request form, which if you guys want, don't forget, reaction request form is down below. That's where we're getting these from. And it's nice because a lot of these are also in English recently, which is like obviously helpful to watch, or at least they've been subtitled, which before, when we first started reacting to SB19, that was a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, for me. I could produce the crap out of a track, but read fast.
Yeah,
like,
and there honestly wasn't that, but like they had like the Zach Sang show did a really good one with them, but they have a bunch of them coming out now. So I think that it'll be really kind of cool hearing their thoughts now, especially like post everything, like post the Phil Arena concert and all the things that are happening. And so, so we want to expose the audience to as much of that as possible. Obviously, we want to continue to lift not only PPOP, but SB19, who is a huge, you know, inspiration and reason that we were even there. We would not have gone to the Philippines had we had not discovered SB19. Like, they were such a big part of that. Not the only part, but a big part of it. And so...
No. I'm laughing because on the last time you said that, I told everybody to not go to an SB19 video and blame them for us being
there. Yeah,
because
why did you make these guys come there?
There are a very, very small, tiny subsect of people who don't like us very much.
Yeah,
and don't do that because that they'd be like, "What? We didn't."
To be fair, I feel like if you are a fan of this channel, you are already used to it because like of the fan wars that already happened.
Yes.
Like, SB19 also has their very large fair share of haters. The fandom has a large fair share of haters. And we have it going on, but it's not just them. We have it going both ways. There's good and there's bad players and actors.
The The good
Go
thing
ahead.
is that whether there's haters or not, there's passion.
There is passion.
There's passion.
There's passion.
And
It just, I think what a lot of people are concerned about right now for both SB19 and Beanie.
You said their names in the same sentence.
I said their name together. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
I did. But I think what people are really concerned about is that, you know, we've seen this happen before. Like PPOP got this kind of growth trajectory in the pandemic, and then everything kind of like died down, and SB19 kind of kept up there, but everything kind of came down, and then Beanie also helped it, and we've seen this happen over time. When Beanie and SB19 are doing well, the other groups thrive.
Yes,
they also do well. You see just numbers. All of the numbers go in tandem. A rising tide lifts all boats, right? And I think like the biggest part that there are concerns about is like when there's this much toxicity or like the troll farms and stuff, it's like it is a turnoff to new fans. And so like who really just want like a place of solace, and there's a fear of like, oh, well, if these new fans come in and they're just like, I don't want anything to do with this. Like we had that recent podcast where we were talking about SB19 and Beanie. Now this is from like I think a month and a half ago that just aired, but it just released, and we were talking about like what they've both brought to the table, and it was just like dude, it's just like, dude, it is really okay to acknowledge that they both have done something significant in very, very different ways, and honestly to very different audiences, as well. Like you should be thanking everybody, and I while we haven't seen this interview yet, if a question comes up about something like this, I 100% guarantee you that SB19 does not be like, it's all because of us. Right. You know what I mean? Like they're not like that. I saw clips of it. I didn't see the whole interview. There's another new interview that just dropped, I think on like the BW channel or something like that. But they played a clip of it of like SB19 and them. They were like jamming to Pantropical by Beanie. Oh. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, it turns out that while some of the fans hate each other, like the groups don't. Right. You know what I mean? Like they want to support. So,
all the toxicity of our city.
Such a good, dude. That whole album, so good.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Good.
They're coming back.
Really?
Yeah, they settled their differences and they're coming back.
He did a really cool like little like solo project for a while. I actually kind of liked. His voice is very like because he doesn't do that in his solo stuff. Like when I first heard it, I was just like, same guy, really? Yeah, no,
that was a choice.
Yeah,
it was a choice of a angry young man.
Yeah. Well, when you'd hear like what's his name from Linkin Park and Fort Minor, you remember like
yeah, it was the same thing.
It was the same group. Yeah. It was like just the same exact group, right? Anyway, if you're watching, you're still here. I mean, let's be honest. This is going to be an interview, so it's definitely going to be a longer podcast. Anyway, and if you don't like that our podcasts are long, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
like good
reaction / podcast.
Good for
if we say it too many times, it'll go on the wrong algorithm. So stop saying it.
Stop saying podcast.
Yeah, stop.
Don't say podcast.
No way. Okay.
All right. But before we start, I know it's important, and our audience is gonna love it.
Okay, all right.
Our audience is gonna love it. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
What are you doing on your phone?
Well, I wrote something down to read off because I didn't want to forget what I was gonna say, and now I'm looking it up.
What? I don't even know anything about this.
I'm gonna
this is
profess my love to you.
Okay,
right
well, don't.
No. Okay, so I want to start out by saying that this is not a sponsored ad.
Oh, gotcha. I know what you're doing.
This is not me being like, we did not get paid for this. We're not getting anything in return from this. Somebody that we've worked with before in the Philippines made a graphic novel, and he was super, super kind to like give me one of like because this isn't the cover of the one now.
Right.
You can still get a couple of these in the Philippines, but this is not the cover that's on the release version. This is like a first edition.
First edition
and
holographic Charizard.
Oh, dude, I don't. My mom threw all my Pokemon cards out.
Me too.
Anyway, so like this is called Maharlika. This is a graphic novel. If you guys can see it, I'll probably put it on the screen or something like that. And basically, like, have you ever wondered what would happen if the Philippines became a world superpower? Like, instead of the Philippines losing the war or being like conquered by Spain and being taken over by Japan, like that the Philippines became the world superpower.
Interesting.
That is essentially what this graphic novel is, and it's so cool. It's set in this very like futuristic cyberpunk setting, and it basically kind of goes through like all of the different things that would still happen, like and there's like superheroes and stuff in it, but it's like, is there going to be oppression? Is there going to be like, are they going to use that power for good? In here, by the way, like K-pop isn't the global dominator. P-pop is the global dominator.
Dude, awesome.
So it's just like, it's really, really cool, guys. You can get it. I believe it's available on, it's also a Filipino website, but they cater to like global audiences. It's called Hot Tropics. I'm going to drop the link down in the...
Hot Tropics.
Yeah, Hot Tropics. I'm so sorry. Still recovering. But I'm going to drop the link. I asked them if they had like a direct link for this so like people didn't have to go and navigate the site.
Right.
But you can buy, there's two versions now out. There's chapter 1 and chapter 2 are now out. You can buy them either separately or you can buy them as a set. But seriously, and again, not paid. It's really, really awesome. It's really, really well done. There may be some stuff that we may also be doing with them, music-wise, coming up. So... Yes, you do.
Do I?
We wrote it already.
Oh, I listen sometimes.
Yeah, we did. But again, that has nothing to do with it. It's just like I was super like, I got a copy of this and it was like so cool because I love manga, I love anime, and it's just a very, very different take and so well done and so well drawn. So any of my Filipino fans out there, or if you're not a Filipino fan, you want to learn more about it, seriously, Maharlika is awesome. Get your copy.
That's cool.
Anyway, that's what I got.
All right, now we have to wave our arms real big so that the people who are fast forwarding know.
Stop.
Yeah.
In the name of love, before you break my heart, take it over. Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice job. Give me a fist bump. I was gonna do a high five, but I thought you might think that was weird.
It's
like right in between. You know, like right in between. Like,
your hands are.
They're warm.
They're warm.
I have warm hands.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I also, dude, I can't sleep with blankets on. Like, I've had my windows open at night. It's only like 60 degrees, and I can't sleep with blankets on.
Same.
So.
I'm a heart built to swallow. I got you thirsty.
I'm sure that you're all here for that. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow along with our journey. Check out our brand new girl group, PPOP girl group, FINIX, FINIX. Oh,
yep. FINIX.
And that's also at We Are Phoenix on all platforms. You can check them out, check their music out, Spotify, Apple, all the places that music exists. Oh. But without further adoozies, adoozies. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Hello, CNA Lifestyle. We're SB19.
Hi, I'm Justin. Hi, I'm Stel.
Hello everyone, I'm Josh.
I'm Pablo.
I'm Ken.
Jamming.
We're
Called
really
PPOP Pioneers.
honored to be called that. But there are lots of artists who started a movement from before. I think we just had the platform to, the opportunity to show it to the global stage. And we're really, really thankful. And we try to live up to it, try to always innovate in terms of making music.
Back then, I think OPM or Filipino music in general has been categorized or has been looked at as maybe a lot of indie bands or just ballads, but they didn't see a lot of like boy groups before. But nowadays I feel like a lot of in Southeast Asia and in the world, a lot of them are really looking to it as an overall maybe different types of variations in terms of genre.
I think P-pop is, apart from it has synchronized choreographies like some of the global pops and, polished visuals. In P-pop, somehow we present everything to somehow raw and emotional and passionate. I think it's because of the hugot style in the Philippines. We call this hugot. It's somehow, be deep in what we really feel inside. Apart from that, I guess the Filipino language, we try to combine or mix Filipino language and English language. So the Filipino language is a bit, harder sounding than other languages, but then mixed with the English, we try to create a new sound, or phonetically it sounds like really smooth when you're singing. And we try to incorporate the culture, like for example the mythology in one of our songs. It's called Mana, it's Manananggal, so I guess it's what makes it unique.
Super. We've talked about that way in the back. Hashtag sewer pop. Remember hashtag sewer pop?
Yeah, I do.
Of it is very, very interesting because so we'll write a lot of times when we're writing music now.
Yeah.
We write them obviously in English, and then hand them on because we don't know enough Tagalog. There are times, there are songs that we have taken a shot at it just because of the context for the song, and then they obviously have to be changed. But I remember when we started writing, we wrote Sumagal sa Akin.
Right.
I literally, the initial version of that song, was kind of I literally used Google Translate to kind of get an idea, because I want an idea for the language, and I know enough by reading it what it'll sound like. I can pronounce it good enough when I'm singing it. We did videos by SB19. We did Mappa and stuff, so I can do it. But it is a different flavor.
Yes.
It does hit harder. It's very guttural. And I do think I've never heard that actually said before by a group, but I think that's a good point of it does make. Imagine trying to do a song like Gento, but it was in Korean.
Right.
It wouldn't hit the same. Or Dunka.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what I mean? I think that there is something to be said about that. That's a very interesting take. And then, of course, what was the first question? That came up, right? The whole thing, and Humble Kings, right? And they're right. There have been groups for sex bomb girls, even people that they've worked recently, Sarah G, things like that. There have been pop idols.
What are the
groups
girls?
Like Serenade.
The ones that the girls like a lot. They always FINIX, we call them the girls.
That's not Philippines.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that's not Philippines.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had never heard of
Little Mix.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Little
so
Mix.
My bad. Sorry. Didn't know.
No, but there are others that have been there. But it's more just to show again, we had literally just said if a question like that came up, they're not going to be beating their chest, right? That's not not
That'd
their
be
style.
so funny though, dude.
It would be.
They were like, "Yeah, we are, and the best." So.
Yeah. If anybody, I feel not because he would actually do it, but just the way he looks right now, it would just be Ken just being doesn't even say anything.
Dude,
his fit is
I have
real
to
though.
talk about all their fits.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when we first started reacting to them. These aren't the same guys.
No, they leveled up so much.
Yeah, something's changed.
So much.
Something's strange.
Well, I mean, I was watching. There was a few minutes of it that I was able to see, and it was them training for the show, going into the gym and stuff like that, and training for the stamina to be able to do the full shows and stuff like that. And I mean, there is a point where once you at least have enough money coming in, you get to focus on having physical trainers and helpers and having people to schedule your stuff and not have to do as much on your own. I mean, I think that they're just finally at that point where they get to kind of celebrate and get some of the fruits of their labor are finally coming back to them. So, but dude, they were working again. Stell's working out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I won't fit any of his shirts anymore, and that's depressing.
Maybe his old shirts though. But he can't fit his old shirts anymore. I'm sure. Maybe he'll send you one of his old shirts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Be hey, you can't use them anymore, bro. Because he'd be it would be like a K-pop Demon Hunter, the guy with the abs.
What if he gets dumb
Just
swole,
big?
stoopy dumb swole?
He'd be driving people crazy then.
True.
All right.
True.
Anyway, any K-pop original acts you want to collaborate with?
For the there are lots that we look up to and we want to collaborate with, but you guys can start.
Some artists that we know from like the K-pop side is probably like Sunmi, Big Bang, 21. Actually, we're able to collaborate with Sandara Park before for a brand.
And we can even collaborate with other regional artists as well, and not just limited to K-pop, but maybe other artists in Southeast Asia.
Every day we wanted to quit.
Yeah, I think most of the time it was really hard.
It was really tough because, how do I say this?
We didn't really have a good system.
We didn't really have like a good system yet. We didn't have like proper, dance schedule, singing schedule. We just tried to learn everything by ourselves. So most of the time we would be left inside our training room, and then we have to explore, try to learn producing music on our own, try to edit the videos or the contents that we're gonna do. I guess it's the experience that taught us everything. If I'm to give an example, we were to perform in this event where we need to sing in 6 different languages. It was really tough for us because, apart from we don't have someone to guide us on how we're going to sing the different language, because we're afraid we might say something really bad or something that's not appropriate for the event. These hard moments thrown to us really made us who we are right now.
And I think it was just our passion and visions that has been keeping us together ever since. That's what we were holding into, and thankfully right now we're still here.
Dude.
And before we released our viral song Go Up, we were about to quit that time, and we told each other, if this song didn't make it, if this song doesn't make it, then we'll have to stop, because it's already 3 years have passed and nothing's happening. So after that one, fortunately we were like, it blew up and it became viral. That's what started the SB19 career.
Dude, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm sure that they have. I personally haven't seen them before take on that question so openly about like them not having the proper training early on.
Yeah, because
I feel like they've tiptoed around that more, and probably because they have more freedom now. Like I'm sure that whatever contracts or whatever agreements that they had are up. But it is interesting to hear that. It's not the first time that I've heard that from that rough organization, in terms of like bringing on trainees, but that, like, yes, they're there and they'll give them stipends and they do stuff for them, but a lot of it is like teaching. It's
here's
like,
a room. Figure it out.
Here's your time. Yeah. You have some money, but yes, you're on your own to figure it out.
There's something to that though, and like, and he said it right at the end of that section is like, there's a certain amount of like, you're a trainee and you get everything and all the stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's also and we've seen it with the girls too. Like if you let somebody kind of be on their own and kind of figure stuff out there's a lot more pride in the work as well when you and it kind of brings people together as well, like the group even closer together.
Yeah, I think that one of the okay, so not to hijack the conversation, but as we talk about the girls, right? Like one of the biggest things I think that we did from the jump was we made sure that was part of the system, was like, you were going to be creative. Yeah. But you're going to have somebody with you every step of the way. Like, right? Like we've had literally from the days of the show, the FINIX show, we have had the same dance coach from before the show all the way through to now. So they've had a consistent Coach Ren.
Shout out Coach Ren.
So they've had like a consistent mentor in that, and we've been their vocal. So like they've had guidance, but we've also allowed them to explore, where I know like a lot early on from things that we've seen in interviews or things that we've heard is like, it's hard when you're like, okay, you're required to do this on your own. But then when you finally come up with the ideas, then they're shut down.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Right. And they're like, well, but we're not going to do that. And you're like, but you made us do it on our own.
Right.
I think that's, from what I've heard more from like other things, that's more of what I've heard. Again, don't quote the sources, right? Because everything is what is called chismis, right?
I have no idea.
It's like gossip, basically. But I mean, there are quite a few sources that have kind of talked about that, and it's
well,
just,
don't quote the source, because we also know
that's what I'm saying,
things that go around that just completely aren't true.
Yes, that there are things. So that's what I'm saying. Don't quote the source, but it makes sense based on what they're saying, and some of the people that we've spoken with that are more reliable, or that we're around the process of, like, there's frustrations when you're an artist and you're like, you do it, but then you're like, okay, and there's two things. You can be like some of the K-pop groups that are, you know, everything's done for you. Here's a song. Here's your training. Just sing. Just look pretty. Dance. Right. And then you have other K-pop groups, for instance, that are just like, you need to make the song. You need to be involved in the creative process. You need to do this. Like Stray Kids, very, very involved in their songwriting, right? So it's like, there is different stuff. And as long as I think those things are spoken about up front, that there's a good amount of grit that you learn and things that you learn by being part of the process. And as much as it sucks that they had to go through it, let's be honest, SB19 wouldn't be who they are today. That's not necessarily thanking them for it, but it is like they had to learn so much on their own. But now that's like part of their story, right? Part of who they are. That's just a unique character to them. So,
dude, are they okay? Just one more thing. Are they in the Philippines for this?
I don't think that CNA is a Philippine. I think it's I think that CNA is a Singapore.
Okay. Either way, is it warm where they are? Because two of them are in leather pants, and like, as cool as they look, dude. I was in the Philippines for 3 months, and I don't wear shorts. People don't know that, but I don't wear shorts. I wear pants, and I was almost heat stroke dying on a daily basis. Dude.
That's the crazy. Do you not remember? Like, we would be in the office or in the studio, and it's like, you know, I guess their equivalent would be like 23, 24 degrees Celsius. So like, it would be like in the mid 70s for us, right? And like, it gets warmer, and then we're like dying, and then like the girls pop out
in a hoodie,
and they're like in a hoodie, freezing. Like, we're having a meeting, and they're like shaking, and we're like, I am sweating right now. And they're like, it's cold. And we're like, what?
Dude, come down to Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Wyoming, or wherever we are.
Yeah, well, our stuff's on the site.
Wyoming.
Nice cover on that one. Way to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, very, very, very interesting, though. But
Chicago, maybe.
Somewhere. All right. When did you? How did you feel when you found out you were becoming successful?
For me, it was like finally.
I think when Go Up went viral on Twitter, we are all like, shocked, surprised, and we couldn't sleep because we keep on scrolling on Twitter, checking on the reactions of people. Weeks after that, we get invitations from the local TV networks, endorsements, interviews and such. So we're like, oh, finally, is this the start of everything?
And I think the hardest part there is, when is it gonna last? You know, it's really easy to viral, but it's hard to really maintain it. So I feel like I had that imposter syndrome during that time, that are we really doing well? Are we really gonna make it?
When the pandemic happened, it was really hard for artists to, do gigs, like promote themselves. But we have social media, and that time, like, we really were able to maintain our position because of social media. And we also did a concert, online concert.
We're still pressured until now.
Well, apart from that, when I saw myself on the billboard, going back home, there's this big billboard on my way home in Cavite. When I saw my face, oh my God, that's when I realized, like, I'm really, like, people are starting to know our group.
For me, I love watching reaction videos. And the time when Go Up went viral, I immediately checked YouTube and watch all the reaction videos. And then I saw a lot of reactions from different countries. After that, we released another songs, and next song, and they keep on, uploading their reaction videos. And that's the time when I realized, maybe this is it. Even the smallest things that we do in a day, they make a content out of it. So we were like, ooh, is this really how it feels like to be famous right now?
P-pop has a really bright future. It's not just artists who has to strive to, push the movement. I think it's the whole industry that needs to really push for the change in the industry. In the Philippines, we don't have organizations that unify systems like KOKA in Korea. But then I think the entertainment industry has a great part in promoting Filipino music, not just Filipino music, but the whole Filipino culture and the Southeast Asian culture. Really thank you. You mean the world to us. You have been supporting our team, our group, our movement from the very beginning, and up until now we remain inspired because of you guys. And together we will put the Filipino culture in the global stage. So thank you so much, and expect more music from SB19, more content from SB19, and more collaborations from SB19.
Very cool.
Wow, so
that was well done.
There was a time there a while back, maybe a year ago, probably exactly a year ago, that you and I, because we keep track of almost every group that's going on in the Philippines and what they're doing, and that's just part of the job. And we had talks like, man, are they gonna break up? Like things felt very shaky just like a year ago. At least just looking at it from the outside, and then knowing a few things that we know from the industry, and just some of the people that we know. And it was a little shaky there. At least it felt like, but it looks like not only since then have they put out a whole new EP, but they're doing well.
I found my life. Now we'll rise again, shine brighter.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that has to do, like, anytime that you have a new business, anytime that it's all on your shoulders, right? As we know, it's a whole nother beast. It's a whole nother ball game. And, we don't know all of the internals of what was happening when they left Show BT. And so all of the things that went down with that, it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of things that have to be worked out. Obviously, there was issues right away, right? They had to cancel concerts and stuff like that. Yeah. And we've also seen kind of like this internal cancellation culture that can happen in the Philippines as well. Yeah. Right? Like, not like, I'm not talking about cancel culture for those of you at home of like, you say something stupid on the internet and you get canceled. I'm talking about like, we have to remember that the Philippines is very, the music industry is like a long standing, but there's not as much competition like there is in the US, right? Like there are thousands of music labels in the US and hundreds of very large music labels. So yeah, you might not be with like the biggest label, but it doesn't matter. Like everybody has a lot of resources and it's very different. Where in the Philippines, it's like three labels own like, or three entertainment agencies own like 80%. Yeah.
That's so crazy because like people probably can tell, but Josh has this ability to like remember, and he has very good recall with different things. I have awful recall. It's just part of my thing. So like I can't remember more than like 10 names of stuff. Yeah, but I can remember the major music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's so few that like I can keep up and remember all of them. So like it's such a small itty bitty industry, and it's very it's like it. I will say, within the last year, we've seen some building happen. Yeah, and people have been trying to make some really cool stuff. Some of it's already gone down and failed already. Yeah, which happens to new businesses. But people have been really trying to put these things together and make this. Put a good backing behind P-pop.
I think what we're seeing from not just in the Philippines, but you're seeing it from a global standard, and we hear this all the time from people in the Philippines, and we kind of see it, right? There's this kind of thing about the crab mentality in the Philippines, and that like there's a lot of support for foreign acts, but they don't necessarily support their own acts, right? And you do see it, right? Look at how many people listen to K-pop on a daily basis, but really don't give P-pop the time of day.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of reasons for that, but I think that you're seeing a mixture between, there are people in the Philippines that are finally seeing that this is this is a viable industry when it's done the right way.
Yeah.
Because up until one of the biggest things that I think that BGC did, outside of obviously being a leading girl group, they took the stigma away where it's just like, oh, well, it's just SB19. Nobody else can make it. Only SB. Because that was like the thing that we'd hear over and over again in like conversations and stuff for years. Is like, okay, it's great, but it's SB19. Nobody else can make it. And regardless of what you want to say is like, okay, yes, they have ABS behind them. Yes, they have money behind them. It still doesn't matter. You can, yes, it makes it easier if you have those things, but you still have to put all the pieces into place and make it viable. And that, I think, is one of the biggest differences, is like, it showed that it is possible. It showed that it can be replicated. It showed that P-pop has a future outside of just one group.
Right.
And so I think that when that happened, there's a lot of, man, I remember first getting to the Philippines and having conversations with investors. And first off, like, you just talk about P-pop and like there was just this very sour kind of taste in people's mouth, right? SB19 and P-pop weren't necessarily synonymous because people like just didn't, yes, they knew that they were P-pop, but they just didn't equate them in the same equation.
Right.
Because there was a very different level. But like we talked to investors and it was just like nobody wanted to take a chance because everybody was just like, well, it can't be like, yeah, it's SB19. They can make it, but nobody else has been able to make it.
Right.
Even these groups and these big companies. And then all of a sudden BGC takes off and it was like, man, did people come out of the woodwork fast.
Yeah.
Like everybody. And it was funny because we had already started building our girl group a year before. Right. May of 2023, we start building the girl group. BGC doesn't take off until 2024, I think. I think it was spring or summer of 2024 that they started taking off.
Was it?
Yeah.
So
it was a year after we got there.
Wow.
Yeah. No, they were there. Like BGC was doing okay.
Right.
But like they were in very similar spaces like BGYO was, right? They weren't like getting the big numbers. And but it was like all of a sudden, it was the same thing when SB19 first started doing well. And it was like boy groups popped out of everywhere from every small company, media company, whatever in the world.
Yeah.
And then I don't know that there are any of the company, all the groups that started around that time after post SB19. I don't know that any of them are still active. Because like PHP started at around the same time.
Right.
Alamont started around the same time. It was a little after, but I mean like that post go up bump.
Yeah. Boom.
I don't know that like almost any of the groups are still active. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there's one or two, but not like, obviously the longevity isn't there. And then you see BGC happen. It was the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It was like a rush. Everybody was rushing to make a girl group. And there are some great girl groups that I think that have come out of that. It's really good to see that like there is definitely a level up from the groups that were there before and like the kind of some of the money that they're willing to spend and the resources they're willing to spend on some of these new girl groups.
Yeah.
But then we've also seen like how many groups just in like the last like just like a month and a half have like lost members.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, because here's the thing. Even if you are put together a group and you want to do it a quarter right.
Yeah.
It's hard. If you want to do it half right, it's remarkably hard. And if you're actually trying to do it the real right way and be extremely good, it's almost impossible.
Yeah. And it kind of comes down to like we've had this conversation over and over again about like not only what it takes to make it in the music business, but what it takes to make it in the music business in the Philippines is very different. And they address one of the biggest elephants in the room where they said like they don't have the infrastructure. They don't have these organizations out there protecting labels and artists and stuff like that are coming together and working together. Now there are a couple of like they do have like a Philippines like publishers association, music association kind of thing.
Right.
They have Phil's Cap, which is doing some stuff, right? But they're still in a physical age, not a digital age. Like
right.
You can't. Not only is it invite only, but you can't go on and see your shit's registered.
Well, and
right?
it has to be invite only because if you're doing it like in filing cabinets,
right?
You know, like
exactly. So it what ends up happening then is now like music is kind of haphazard. People are just using foreign entities, which is okay to use, but like who knows how that music's actually getting collected? The money's not getting collected in the Philippines because they're not registered. So there's all these things happening. But when we decided to make the decision to come, I remember one of the things that we were looking at is we talked to other industry professionals here and regionally, and we are definitely seeing not just locally but regionally and globally. I think that what we are seeing and what we're hearing is that the Philippines seems to be like the main hub that people are looking at because Southeast Asia is like the next music frontier.
Yeah.
So you have like a couple of big markets that are booming or starting to boom right now. Brazil and India, like Latin America, basically, Brazil being the hub of that. And then India are like two that were basically already where the Philippines was now, but they were there like 5-10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Because now all the major labels are like setting up like Latin America, like Hybe labels is setting up Latin America. Yeah. A lot of the majors like UMG and Warner, like they're making those a focus.
Yeah.
We have some behind the scenes knowledge of like specifically in Brazil of some of the sounds and stuff that are coming out of there that they're trying to push.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff coming out of there.
And so you're seeing this though is that there's a lot of companies now talking about like the Philippines being that next hub. And so it's going now from where it used to be like, okay, we have this global artist. We have, let's say Sabrina Carpenter or who is the one that we did the thing with from Warner? What was her name? Do you remember the girls did the song because she's also a Warner artist and they wanted them to do like a dance cover or something like that. I think it was a vocal cover that they did of hers that did really well.
Yeah, I don't remember.
What but bigger global artist. And like it's like that's when all of a sudden the majors come in and they're like, oh well, can you help? Like everybody's like, I remember I was having a conversation, they're like, hey, can you tell me something about that Quezon city? You know?
Yeah.
And because like it's a huge hub and a huge population center and it's showing up on Spotify playlists. So dude, people are starting to pay attention.
I was watching the new season of Wednesday. And
I haven't seen the first season or the second season.
It's good. And they have a character in there that was speaking Tagalog for like a minute and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And I was like,
dude, Philippines is like it will. People thought the same thing about Korean before, like the Hallyu wave and the K wave. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're seeing it. You're seeing a lot of outside interest. Now, the interest, unfortunately, I think it's stymied sometimes when they make it to the Philippines because, again, there's still a lack of infrastructure.
Yeah.
So it's like you can say like, hey, I want to go and I want to invest in the Philippines. Like that's what we did, right? We're like, we're going to go and we're going to invest in the Philippines. But there are like a just pile of logistical issues, all kinds of things that you just have to like kind of overcome. And then just even from a business standpoint, like operating just the operations on a daily basis of like just being on time, right? Of like just
it's impossible to be on time there.
Well, it is and it isn't. You just have to leave earlier, right?
Yeah. So
like, but
I have a meeting at 5 p.m. I leave at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
like,
but at the same, dude. Okay, I remember I had been there for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I was doing a bunch of meetings when we first got there. We were meeting with all the people that we were talking to that we had set up before getting there. And I was on my 4th meeting. And 4 times in a row, so I get there, we're meeting at it was a Starbucks. We're meeting at a Starbucks. And I get there and I'm waiting for like 45 minutes. And like I had never experienced anything like that. Now the other people were slightly late, but they were slightly late, right?
Yeah.
Like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like whatever, right? But like here we're in this business meeting and it's like 45 minutes. And I'm just like, am I supposed to just go? So I get a message and like, no, we're on our way. We're looking for parking. I'm like, okay. Like now I had like my day planned out. Like I was not used to it yet.
Right,
so I'm like, I'm going to be back at this time and I'm going to get this and this done.
Yes.
God, ignorant back then. But so they get there, and the first thing that they said was, man, traffic was terrible. And I'm just like, of course it was terrible. I've been here for 3 weeks, and I can tell you, there's not a day that I've ever gone out and it hasn't been terrible.
Yeah.
If I go out and just miraculously get there early, good.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
99% of the time, no matter what time of day you leave, no matter if you think that there's going to be, it's going to be a quick ride, no matter what Waze said, no matter what Google Maps says, no matter what iPhone or Apple Maps says, it's going to take longer.
Pretty quickly. Like, there was times where we were like, all right, we're going to go to BGC and meet with blank.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. We should be back by like 6, and we could get a couple tracks done.
Yeah.
Little tracking done before Betty by time. And like 11:30 we're walking in the door.
Just like I'm vomiting because like of the car sickness.
Yeah.
But so that I think that is
shout out to Grab drivers and trying to make me throw up.
Yeah. Shout out to Grab drivers and making me 5 times total. Did I actually have to stop at the side? And one of the times that I had to stop was like on like I don't remember if we were like on the NLEX or whatever, like the fast one, the overpass one. Yeah. And I was like, you need to pull over. And he's like, I can't pull over. And I'm like, you have 2 options. You pull over, or this is going to be in your car.
Right.
Like, it's like, don't the stop and go thing. Anyway,
Korea to Hong Kong, US and the bricks, and come see us blow kiss. Click, boom with the shit. Make his jaw drop with the arsenal, we don't ever stop. Click, boom with the shit. What you looking lost track, baby, I'm a construct. Hip, move the shit. Always stay fit like I'm telling no slip.
Yeah. So I say all that though because that is where the infrastructure though becomes a problem, because if you are, imagine specifically like how structured K-pop is, right?
Yeah.
The US music industry already, like you show up for a meeting with any, like especially if you're just kind of like, oh, you're mid-level, like we're kind of like mid-level-ish. You show up for a meeting and you are 45 minutes late.
I mean, everyone's
just
already gone.
Don't show up.
Right.
Right? Like if you're 15 minutes late, generally they're like people like, because it's time. It's all about time here.
Yeah.
But then like imagine like then you take like Korea, right? Which is like even more structured in like the way that the K-pop system is. And people that are used to that, and you're like, all right, we're going to go to the Philippines and we're going to set up the same system there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're not.
There was a couple things. There was a small handful, and this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like there was a small handful of things that we going in were ignorant about, even though we did a lot.
Yeah.
Of we did as much due diligence as you can with not having the information out there. So like we get there and we're like, okay, we set up shop. We got all of our paperwork done so that we can have a company there. And then we start doing work, and it's like, oh, no. All of everything is different. Mm-hmm. Like, not a single thing is the same.
So it is interesting, though, because we have a lot of great partners now that we didn't have. It took us a long time to get those partners and to find like-minded people.
Shout out, hey ROOMIE.
In Circle, hey ROOMIE, TSU, Kumu, a lot of great partners. And but it's not all that way. Like I don't want this to be like one of those things where like everything in the film. Like
I didn't say it was bad.
Yeah.
I was just saying it was different.
Oh, I'll say that some of it's bad. Well, like some of it's bad. But it's really is like music business specific, it seems like. And then there's even like we've had conversations with like other major labels and stuff like that where like there's also like it is a wide gap of difference between the way like OPM artists or people that are with the more traditional labels that really understand the system and understand how it is and the P-pop system.
Yeah.
Is like because you do have a lot of these and we are a small label, right? But I don't feel like we operate like one. Like we're very, very structured. We are very like, and we have a lot of knowledge, right? We might not have a ton of money, but we have a ton of knowledge. And so like the way that we've planned things out 2 years ahead, 2.5 years ahead is very, very different. And then there's just a lot of these things where it's just like, like that I feel like that's the attitude a lot. Like I go to me and like, It's like, oh, well, the whole show just got screwed up. Like the artist sounded all,
Yeah.
you know,
The show was supposed to start at noon. It's
3 o'clock.
9 p.m.
The kids now have to go to bed.
Yeah.
Man, it's just so. I felt that in that one of like the infrastructure aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I think that a lot of companies find out though is like there has been, I think, this very, very dangerous, and so everybody understands, right? Your artists, in order to make it, the artists need to make money so that the labels or the management companies behind them can also make money to keep paying for these things.
Yeah.
You know, and especially like the music aspect. I mean, that's why you don't see a lot of these artists like in music. It's the most expensive part. A decent song, you know, is going to cost you $3,000 to $5,000 generally to like produce, mix, and master plus points, and that's cheap. So it's like what we've definitely seen since before we even got there, knowing like kind of some of because we did our research and we were there and seeing like the mall shows and the kind of like conglomerate shows that they do and the caravans and all that kind of stuff. There's been this race to the bottom in terms of what artists are also getting paid.
Yeah.
So it's like in a lot of these places, instead of like, okay, so you have some artists that have been around for, I'm just going to throw some names out there of groups that I like or groups that we work with, but you have these artists that are kind of mainstays that have been around at least for a while. You have groups like First One, PHP, G22, Vision, I think just celebrated their 2 years. I don't want to, I hope I'm not forgetting, like Kaya.
Yeah.
You know, even groups like Callista, like some of these groups that have been around for a little bit, and they've at least been able to kind of figure it out. But because those groups have been around for a little bit, they demand more money,
right?
And they should. And it's not like it's so crazy because I helped put together a show. I'm not going to say how much it is, but we helped put together a show originally that ended up not going through.
Right.
But we did all the work, we did the due diligence, put all the artists together. And honestly, what they were asking, I thought was low, right? It was very normal for the Philippines, but I was just like, man, like how, like I'm doing the math in my head,
right,
and I'm just like, how are they making it, right? And so you already have these artists that like, of course, I think that they'd like to go on, but they also can't just do everything for free. Like that's not the way that business works. And then it's like a race to the bottom because then you have these. You have these companies and they're like, okay, well, this group just launched, and they're just happy to be on a stage.
Yeah.
So they'll literally go for nothing.
Yeah.
Just because, and they go, but we're going to give you exposure. And this is the thing that we keep talking about. Now, exposure is fine and good. And getting practice is good. Not all exposure is good exposure.
Right.
But at some point in time, what ends up happening is like, if there's no like, hey, the artist should get paid, we should do better stages, we should do things like this. What happens is like, then the artists just keep rotating because nobody can actually make money. They put these artists out there, oh, we're just going to go and do these shows. And then I think these companies realize really quick, it's like, you can't make money doing the shows.
Right.
Right. And again, I challenge anybody to tell me a P-pop group that made it solely due to I think that it's a part of the system. I think that doing some of these shows is part of a system, but I've also seen like a decline in them over time. There are some great shows though. We've seen and been part of some really, really well done shows, and even smaller shows where at least they're like, we've talked to some people that the girls have done recently, and they're like consulting with us because they're like, we don't know what equipment we need.
Right.
But these are the same people that are just like, oh, how much do you want? And then the artists don't even know of like, hey, ask for better equipment.
Right.
It's part of what's called a tech rider. Just ask for it. They might do, like maybe they don't have the money to give you,
right? But
they might have an extra $5,000 to get some better speakers and some better mics for you,
right? To rent or
yeah. And so like the shows that we've been doing have, I think like that's what we've been trying to do is like, hey, we'll help you. I remember for one of the shows, they didn't have stage monitors, and we were like, use ours,
right?
Like we will provide you with the stage monitors to make the whole stage. I don't care who's using them, just don't break them.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure the girls sound good.
Yeah. So it is one of those things where it's like, we still also have to be cognizant of like the work that goes in. I think a lot of these companies that are starting out, I'm so happy to see other companies, like it's so cool because I think when we first started, people were like, oh, well, there's a bunch of girl groups releasing at the same time. You were, and I was like, no, I hope there's 20 more that release this year.
Right.
Like, do you know how cool it would be if there was 50 solid P-pop? Like, that's just a starting point.
Right.
If there was just like 50 actual solid groups that were performing at a decent level, that had decent stages, like, do you know what that would do for P-pop?
Right.
In the Philippines, regionally and globally?
That's a huge, like, because people, they're so used to just the 2 or the 3, or we can say 4 or 5 if we're being, you know, and like to be like, this is all that there is and ever can be. And it's like, dude, if there are more K-pop groups, and I love listening to K-pop. There are more K-pop groups than I know the name of, for sure. There's tons that I don't know the name of,
dude.
And they're pulling 300,000, you know, monthlies, a million monthlies. There are groups that have like 10 million monthlies that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
So it's like there's space. There's space for this stuff. And like as SB19 and Beanie go out into the world and create new P-pop fans, everything's gonna come trickling back in. And then these groups that have been hanging out for a while, they'll get some more fans, and hopefully our FINIX gets some more fans. You know, like it's gonna be a really good thing. And like if there are companies out there that are trying to put this together and want to do it the right way, I'm very, very glad. And don't call me, because I mean,
I was actually just going to add into there. It's like, we
call him.
We did it.
Yeah.
Like, and the crazy thing is, like, how many times have we like gone to people and we're like, hey, we literally will help you for free. People are so especially in the music business, people are so unused to people helping people for free that they are very skeptical about it. It's like, what's in it for me? And it's like, there is, I'm a huge believer. I've kind of lived my life by for like 10 years. I had like this weird turning point in my mid-20s where like I got old.
Yeah.
You know, like there's everybody kind of has that point where it's like, okay, the boy's gone, you don't care about certain things anymore. And I was like very thinking about family and thinking about careers. And from that point, I started believing in kind of like the pay it forward effect. That's what I had at first. And then another partner that we've been working with and I've been talking about it recently, it's called the multiplier effect, basically, of like, when you do good things into an ecosystem that you are a part of, those things always end up coming back to be helpful to you later. Like, you might not know when it's going to happen down the road, but like, if you have some people that their mentality is like, well, if you can get paid for it, why would you do it for free? It's like, first off, the industry doesn't have a lot of money right now. Like, you have to go outside to bring the money back in. And so it's like, to me, it's like one of those things of like, yes, we need every dollar, but it's like, okay, what, I'm going to stop this guy who can definitely benefit. And I'm like, what, going to charge you 3,000p or 5,000p? Or I can build a relationship that equals a lot more than that by being like, hey, you have a good idea. Why don't we just sit down and talk about it for like a couple of hours? I'll give you a couple of hours of my time. And like, that relationship, if we build that, if we now do one collab together, if we do one stage together, whatever it is, like, that's worth way more than like me being like, I'll give you the information, but you got to pay me.
Yeah.
And especially like, we're the first company from the US to ever do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's been companies from Korea and regionally, but we need 10 more.
Yeah.
You know, we need 10 more Korean companies. We need 10 companies from Thailand and 10 companies from Indonesia, and create a competitive network that pushes, you know, because everything's going to stay the same unless, you know, they're pushed to do better.
Yeah.
So I know that we came a long way from this.
Wow.
It was like, it's so cool. Like that stuff excites me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, we've spent the betterment of 2 years now doing like this has been every waking 2.5 years. This has been every literal waking moment of your and my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though we're not sitting in the same room with them, it's one of those things where like I get so excited when I finally like when I'm in the Philippines or I'm talking to somebody that like just gets it.
Right.
Because it doesn't happen very often in this space.
Yeah.
And so I just get really
it's a tough space.
I get really excited, man.
It's a tough space. It reminds me almost exactly of the metal scene in like 2012 or 2013 where they're like there's so much music coming up and there's so many companies coming up and like there's like 5 really big ones, you know what I mean? Like it's it reminds me a lot of that, and that's kind of one of the only reasons I have any insight as to what we've been having going on. It's just because it reminds me so much of that. Like it's very scrappy and like everyone's trying to figure something out, and there's bad actors and there's good actors who just can't seem to catch a break, and you know, like it's new, and we gotta
everybody's got to work together, and it's one of those things, and I'll say it again on here, we don't push this much anymore. It's amazing to me how many times we've said it in the past or we've reached out, and then again people are like, well, if you gotta give it away for free, you guys aren't good producers.
Well,
like FYI, some of the vast majority of the songs that you see in the US, those producers are not getting paid upfront fees for. They're not. They're just getting points on the back. So if the song does really well, everybody does really well. Now, if you're like trying to like songwrite or whatever like that, but a lot of times producers, just decent producers, will reach out all the time and be like, hey, I got this track, I think it would fit you.
Yeah.
I'm looking for an artist.
Right.
You want to be an artist? Let's work together. Let's collab on it. And then they figure out, instead of getting, you know, maybe 4% of the producer share, they make it like 50% of the producer share. And like that's okay, because they're
if the song does well, then everybody
wins. And if the song doesn't do well, then you just create another one.
Right.
You know? But like it's one of those things that we always have left on the table, not just with obviously businesses, but like if you are an artist, if you're a group, it doesn't matter if it's PPOP, it doesn't matter if it's OPM, because we actually have some, I really want to work with like an emo band. Like I really want to work with a OPM like rock band.
Yeah.
Because we have some good stuff, but we have so many songs.
Yeah.
That like we haven't had time. Like we're not out there selling music right now like we used to do, but like so it just piles up.
Yeah.
So girl groups, boy groups, we do rap. Like literally, if you are out there and you're like, I don't think that I can afford these guys, like hit us up.
Probably can.
Because we're not, again, like you're probably going to be in charge of right now. We're in the US at the moment. So as long as you can get things recorded, you know, we can cover the rest and we can work something out. But like, it's just about elevating the space as a whole. And that's why I'm so excited, because like just hearing him talk about that of like, okay, we're here, but we have such a long way to go. We have to keep working together. We have to keep promoting in order to get the Philippines on the global stage. Like we have to work together, and like we're here and we are more than willing to do that. You know, and I think for a while people were questioning like, well, what have you, like, I don't think anybody's questioning our quality anymore.
Right.
You know, so reach out. And I'd love to work with some up and coming artists just writing music. This is nothing else. It's just like let's make some songs and get them released.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
So if you don't know how to distribute it, we'll figure it out. Like we can help you with that too.
That reminded me of a comment that I saw on our reaction to the Girls Wish Bus. It was our reaction, producers react to the FINIX Wish Bus.
Yeah.
And there was a comment that says, what did you even produce?
This song.
Did you not watch the video at all?
This song. We wrote this song.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
What more do I have to do?
Yeah.
Other than react to the video of the thing.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. It made me laugh. I was like, sometimes hate comments make my heart hurt, but that one I was like, what?
A lot of them are just funny now.
Yeah.
But we have like one of the things. Thank you guys so much, like especially because I know the people that are here right now.
Yeah,
like they're the real ones, right?
Yeah.
And man, we forgot. We took a step away for a very long time to just focus on the artist, and we had to do that. But it was like I think there was a part of it, like Josh in there talks about like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Where like I feel like we knew the audience that we had going there. We knew our why. We knew our reason. We knew that we were in it for the right reasons. And like, man, sometimes that negativity and like all of the things that are said about you, it's like I would like just hear people would be like, I heard this story that you. What was the most recent one that we got deported?
Yeah.
We're back in the U.S. because we did. It's just like the people will make up the crazy shit. By the way, did not. I said this in a previous one. Like I don't like getting into my personal life as much anymore. But like I'm going through a custody thing right now. I'm going through a divorce.
Yes.
And so I'm back here dealing with that. Divorce in the U.S. takes a long time. So like even once, and they probably don't know that because the Philippines doesn't have divorce, right?
Well.
So like, but it's like even once you agree on everything and you go to it's a 4-month waiting period of that, and it was 4 months leading. It's a pain.
Right.
But so yeah, we're coming back.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We did not. But that's the shit that gets made up. Where was I going with this? I was going somewhere with this, and it was good. It was.
I said something about comments. You said something about
the hate. Because you start getting an imposter syndrome. Because it's almost like we walk away from it for a long time, and you don't want to let like those comments get to your head. But I do think that we forgot how many lives that we touched. I think the biggest moment that ever happened to me was there was a woman early on in our reaction days that wrote me a letter, because we used to get fan mail and stuff all the time. We used to have a P.O. box.
Right,
I stopped doing it. It's so expensive. Awesome. We should open it back. If we're going to do it again, we could open a P.O. box. I just like, at first we had our address listed, remember? And then that just got scary because people started doing really scary stuff. But we could probably get a P.O. box again. But people would send us fan mail, and it was like one of like the most heartwarming things of just reading a letter. Like, to me, that was like worth more than any donation could ever be. Like, you took time to handwrite a letter to send it in. This woman like had me in tears.
No, you read it on a live
because she was like talking about how like she was like on the trigger warning, but like on like thinking about committing suicide, and like she watched one of our things, and it became a mainstay in the channel. That's where the "You Are Enough" came.
Yeah, right.
Because she would watch our channel, and every day our whole thing is, you're loved, appreciated, you're always welcome here. That was the original one.
Right.
The "You Are Enough" got added because she told me the story how she was feeling really, really low, and she said that she found her reactions, and she heard that, and it walked her back off the ledge, metaphorically.
Right.
And she was like, by the way, you should add in "You Are Enough."
I remember this.
Because that's how you make me feel.
That was back in your basement?
That was
at the
back
old house.
in the first house.
Yes,
the
first
not
house.
The second house, the first house in the basement.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was the moment for me that I think, like, regardless of all the hate that we were even getting at the time, that was like my moment of like, this is worth it.
Right.
And it really drove me to keep doing this, because it's, people are like, hey, you're doing reactions, blah, blah. It was that connection.
Yeah.
It was that we have that with the fans. And I think that when you get a lot of that, you feel like you're doing some good. And then when we got to the Philippines and like we stepped away from that, and then like no matter how hard and how much we were investing and how much we were doing, like you start just hearing the rumors and the gossip and the noise of like all of the wrong things or the bad things you're doing just because people are making shit up and don't know the truth. And like it really ate at me, I think, for a really long time, where I like the imposter syndrome thing, like, oh, well, were we ever actually, did people ever like us?
Yeah.
Like, did we just make a huge mistake?
It was all that. And at the same time, like, we're pushing this stuff, and like you're on the phone telling me about a music video that we're gonna do, and telling me all these things are gonna go into it, and the team that we have, and like the song's only 3/4 of the way done, you know, and I'm sitting there like, with all the stuff going on, that's like just stuff that people are saying and stuff, with all that going on, and then at the same time I'm like, I don't know if I could produce this song well enough for the video that we're supposed to be shooting for this. Like, I don't I don't know if I'm that good, like just in my head, because I'm only like 3/4 of the way through. It sounds awful, and I'm forgetting the process because I'm in my head about it. You know, the process is you write a song, it sounds terrible until it's done. But like, just some of that stuff that's been going on, like that real imposter syndrome, just being like, what do you mean we're getting a crane for this music video? You know, like what are you talking about? You know, like, and the, you know, that's all that stuff. Like, how are we? Sometimes I still am just like, what happened?
What happened? What happened, fella? Vampire, right?
Like, I still feel weird saying, when someone asks me, what do? I still feel weird saying I'm a music producer.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. You know?
Most people are just like, what does that mean? You know, because most of the public doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Anyway, very, very long-winded way of talking about this. But all of that really to just say thank you, because when we started this again, we were like, oh, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to know. Like, everybody's going to forget that we were gone. And then all of a sudden, it was just like immediately, everybody's like, we missed you so much. Oh my God, my favorite reactors are back. And it's just like, it's such a heartwarming moment to see that. And then to see more people being like, you know, this is, you did tell us, like, you turned us on to SB19, you turned us on to this group, or Morissette or somebody like that.
Right.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. So
it is.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much. This is definitely turned into a podcast because you don't want me to say it. But you know what? It was a conversation worth having. I love that they can make people this thought-provoking, or thought-provoke this. Is that right?
I have no idea.
Is it that? Anyway, but it was excellent. I love this. So keep them coming. Leave some more reaction request form down below. Make sure you check that out. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow along with our journey. Check out our new group, FINIX. That is FINIX. We are FINIX on all platforms. And I think we need to find a secret emoji code for these fine folks.
Car.
I'm going to do duck.
Okay.
Car duck.
Quack.
Car duck.
Yeah.
If nobody told you that they love you today, please don't forget that we love you. You're appreciated. Always welcome here in this channel, and you are enough. And last, but certainly not least,
it was a great day to play.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
The GidKidDad Show.